So today we've got a Marshall Shredmaster. The problem with this one is more of a convenience issue. The normal jack that you use for power connectors is a 2.1 millimeter jack. That's the normal thing. So I have a Voodoo Labs ISO 5 pedal power supply here, and these take 2.1 millimeter connections. Now this particular Shredmaster has a 2.5 millimeter plug, so it doesn't fit. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just replacing this connector with a 2.1 millimeter power connector.
When I wake up, feel my broken nose. Been a long time, I wanna stop losing. For a while it's been clear to me, my life's a combat zone and I'm moving. The risk I'm choosing.
Okay, so here we see that there's a ribbon cable. There's actually two boards in here. There's like a daughter board for the power and the 1/4 inch jacks. And then there's a lower board down here with the actual circuit on it. So, and they're connected by this sort of ribbon cable from top board to bottom board there. So we're just going to try to take the top board off and see if we can live with that.
Asked myself, who are all these people I see? Told myself it's all an illusion. On that stage where I stand, learn to be a man. I'll keep moving, keep on cruising. Hey, hey.
So it looks like this power supply connector was put on by somebody else. It looks like someone took off the old one and soldered this new one on for some reason. It looks like someone was in here already, but we're gonna redo what they did, and hopefully that'll work out. Now I have a DC power jack here. It looks like it has the same footprint as what we have here, so that's good news. So we're just going to remove this one and replace it with the new one.
American living, golden stars and abuse, silver light and shadows, moonlit nights, we're on the loose. Oh God, I say it happened. Last night on the 38 again. I sat down below the balance, and this time nobody complained.
So we finally got this thing out. This thing's a mess. So it looks like the pads were completely ripped out, and then some like makeshift traces were made up.
I'm doing it well. Yeah. Driving movie theaters, hands that won't betray. Quiet rides at midnight. summer nights not wasted. When boys kiss girls, they'll go to hell. Just like in the old times, you're doing it well. Once in a lifetime, forget it. Once every month, get away. Yeah, I said once a night, don't sweat it. I'll meet you at the parking lot parade.
Alright, so it's not much of a better soldering job, but at least the new jack is in there, and I think this will work out fine. I think this will work out fine because all the traces actually near to the jack are intact. So the connection should be made pretty well. Okay, so it turns on. Bring the gain up. There's some pot scratchiness in there, so I'm gonna clean those out a little bit before I hand it back to him. What I use is this Deoxit. Let's see, D Series D5 improves electronic connections. So one thing that I like to do is look up whatever pedal I'm working on and see who uses it on the. So I use Equipboard to do this. So the first artist that we can look at is Thom Yorke. This is he's from, as you may know, Radiohead. Let's see. Tom started using a Shredmaster halfway through the OK Computer tour, and one was also on his board for shows in support of a Kid A and Amnesiac. So if we look at the proof of this, the link that they gave, we have the King of Gear. Here's some sort of blog, a site devoted to how Radiohead makes all of those funny noises. So this might be a cool thing to bookmark or check out sometime. But if we go down, all the way down, and we can see this picture here, and I guess this is what it's based on. So open image, new tab. If we go here and we zoom in right here, this seems to be the Shredmaster that is cited in this Equipboard posting. So here we are with there's some tape over the logo, so it's hard to tell that it's actually the Shredmaster, but you know, we'll believe it. So and then this photo was supposedly taken in it looks like 2008 in June, possibly. So this is board number 2, but it was taken in 2008, and I couldn't find other ones with something that looked like a Shredmaster. If you can, just let me know. Anyway, so that's Thom Yorke. That's Radiohead. Another guy who also used it was Alex James. This is in Blur Song 2. The bassist uses a Shredmaster, and you can see that. I can't play for you the video, but I've stopped it where the bassist stomps, where Alex here stomps on the Shredmaster here. So this is it, and that's what they use as proof. So Blur Song 2, the bass also uses it if you want to check that out. We also have Paul D'Amour, bassist from Tool, and over here on his pedal board we can see there's a Shredmaster here. Let me just make sure that is in fact the case. I believe he was the first bassist in Tool, right? Yeah, first bass guitarist for Tool. So this is Paul D'Amour. That's pretty cool. We have Vincent Dicardi here. He was in Brand New. He did some work for Brand New, and here's a Shredmaster on his pedal board. Keep going. Here's Tom Angerrieper. He is a German musician who apparently used it in the early days. And let's see, and so yes, that was for the EP in The Sign of Evil. He doesn't actually say that he used the Shredmaster on In the Sign of Evil, but it was like around the time where he would have
he would have used it. So I translated this to German, so it might not be word for word what he said, but nothing works without boxing, blah, blah, blah. You couldn't drag basement for it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, but I wanted to sound like Lemmy or Kronos, and so I put a Marshall Shredmaster in between. He's talking about his bass amp and his guitar, and that's how I found my sound. I still have mine, so this was like in the beginning, and so he still has his, but he's got other stuff now, he says. So he may have used it on In the Sign of Evil on that EP. So that's one reference. We also have a man by the name of Franklin James Fisher on this Premier Guitar interview here. It lists the Marshall Shredmaster as one of his effects. Really cool band. He plays in the band called Algiers. I recommend looking them up. It's really cool sound. So we also have let's see, Kevin Shields and Belinda Butcher, and they were in my mind is no, not Kevin James. Not Kevin James. Let's see, Kevin Shields. What is it? Queen. My Bloody Valentine. So, it says that. I mean, in one interview, Kevin Shields cites that he has like over 100 pedals. So, he could have it. He could have used it. I don't know. I couldn't find a good source for that one. Excuse me. Guy by the name of Hinte de Prez, Junior Tolstoy, and there are other ones as well. So that's the Marshall Shredmaster. That's who seems to use it.